o'clock on the dot. Good job, colleagues. We have a quorum and we're ready to go.
Sean Tao. Here. Karina Talamontes.
Here.
Katie Valenzuela.
Here.
Katie Maple.
Here.
Mai Vang.
Here.
Phil Cerna. Patrick Kennedy. Rich Desmond.
Here.
Sue Frost. Pat Hume. Mary Jane Lopez Taff.
Here.
Rod Brewer.
Here.
Kevin Spees.
Present.
Sean Farmer. Garrett Gatewood. Tanya Kravchuk. And we have 9 members present.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And a meeting statement?
Excuse me?
A meeting statement? Are you going to read that?
This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T UVerse cable systems. This meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.net. Today's meeting will be repeated Saturday, September 28 at 4 p.m. on Channel 14 and can also be viewed on Metro Cable 14's YouTube channel. This meeting will also be recorded via Zoom. A DVD copy will be available upon request no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. The full agenda, including reports, is available on the library website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should complete a speaker identification form located at the back table and give it to the clerk. Members attending via Zoom should raise their hand in the Zoom program. Please speak clearly when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard.
Thank you. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And clerk, is there any public comment on matters not on the agenda?
No.
Okay. Moving along to presentations, Friends of the Sacramento Public Library.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. Can we have the, I chimed in here. I just wanted the record to show that I arrived late and I am in attendance, so thank you.
Thank you.
I guess so. Which one? Sorry. We're a business. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Rubin. I'm currently the chair of the Measure E Committee for the Friends of Sacramento Public Library. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. In 2014 and 2016, I had the honor of standing in front of this body to thank you all, your predecessors, for the work done, for the guidance that you gave us, for this endorsement of Measures B and Measure X, and really for your support of the Friends organization, recognizing that we are, and were then, and always will be, the helpmate for the Sacramento Public Library system. As we move forward today in combining Measures B and X into now Measure E, it is even more important that we gather the community support to make this a reality. We recognize this is a vote only in the city of Sacramento, but we also recognize, just as with Measures B and X, if in fact Measure E does not pass, it will adversely affect the entire library system countywide. You've endorsed Measure E, and we cannot thank you enough. We've also gotten endorsements, as you've seen probably from the Measure E webpage, from many different entities. And we're very excited in the last few days to get an endorsement from the League of Women Voters, something I think you all know is not a regular occurrence on their part. Back in 2014 and 16, first Angelique Ashby and then Rick Jennings served as the liquid.
League, was it okay to talk about this during Friends of the Library, since it's on the ballot? Sorry. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I think it's fine. They're talking in their capacity as advocates for the measure. And so, this body shouldn't spend a lot of time talking. You did take a formal action to endorse it a couple months ago, but beyond that, we should keep our This body's comments should be strictly educational, but if someone from the public wants to stand up and use
Okay,
their time.
thank you. I just want to make sure we're safe. Thank you.
Understand. Thank you. We've engaged in a lot of community outreach events, not only within the city, but in other parts of the county, because we recognize that folks have friends and relatives that live within the city, and it is so important that the measure pass. It's something that we cherish, the ability to go out and advocate for the library, to raise funds, to be the public face of the library in a campaign such as this one. And again, it is with your support, under the leadership of Councilmember Talamantes, Councilmember Vang, to help us in this effort and to be the public face for the campaign. It's important to us that we recognize that you as elected officials are very busy. You serve on dozens of boards and commissions within the cities, within the county, and even regionally. And yet you take the time to serve on the Public Library Board, the Authority Board. For that, we cannot thank you all enough. So to sum up, it is a pleasure on our part to be the face of the campaign. We thank you for your endorsement. We thank you for your support of the Friends organization, and we look forward to the successful passage of Measure E and the maintenance of public library services in the city and throughout the county, really. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you and all the work that you do. Next up, we have 2024 Summer Reading Update for Christy.
Okay, hello everybody. It feels like just yesterday I was here telling you about what we were going to do this summer. So now I'm back to show you what we did. So I have a few slides to share. Hopefully they will come up. I want to just do some show and tell of the things that we did this summer. It's summarized also in the executive team report, so I'm not going to spend too much time on the numbers. But we did have a really incredible summer reading with over 21,000 readers of all ages across all of our library locations. They read over 3 million minutes this summer. We gave away lots of books to kids and adults as well. We did a big media push as well and got lots and lots of really wonderful comments from the public about this initiative, which really helps to highlight reading for fun and the importance of that for all ages. Here's our campaign and what our objectives and messaging were. We really had the benefit of many partners, including a lot of the board members here, helping to share that word with our community. Here's some of our wonderful readers sharing their successes. If you read 25 books, you get a medal, and that's a really exciting prize. I also want to highlight our Lunch at the Library program. This was in the executive team report last month, but this was thanks to a $235,000 grant from the California State Library. We were able to offer free meals this summer in 14 different locations. One of the components we're really proud of with the summer meals program is a youth development component where we had 70 paid teens in all of our locations helping to run their lunch program and making sure that they're gaining some valuable experience in the process. Also some amazing programming thanks to our Community Engagement Services Department. We worked with the Sacramento Food Bank to provide food boxes for families. We had teen interns do food tasting and other fun programs. We worked with partners like the Health Education Council and CalFresh to make sure nutrition education and just fun explorations around cooking were available to all the students who took part. We get lots of great press about summer reading every year, so there's some really wonderful quotes here about kids and adults who thought summer reading was wonderful. Some people that read the books from their teenage years, modeling great reading for their younger kids. They do things as a family. My daughter read for 52 days straight and was so proud of herself. Lots of different ways for people to encourage visiting their local libraries and learning all the different resources the Sacramento Public Library has to offer. We definitely hear every year about what this program does in terms of motivating the community to get to know their library and just celebrate together. So including one person said, librarian gave us medals, encouraged me to get one as the adult of 3 young readers. I didn't need a medal, but then it helped me realize I'm important too. So summer reading is something that everybody can take advantage of. And we just heard really great things from participants all summer long about how it helped them challenge themselves, stretch their bounds of what they read, all for fun and love of the library. We also want to thank our communications department. They did an amazing job promoting summer reading with social media posts, paid advertising. We did a lot of earned media on this as well. Our community is just very supportive of this effort. And it's just a really great thing to celebrate in a positive way across the community. And that's that. Any questions?
Wonderful. Congratulations. That is wonderful. And I love the medals. So creative,
fun.
especially with the Olympics that just happened. So, colleagues, do we have any questions for summer reading? No? Okay. Moving along to executive team report.
Thank you, Chair Talamontes, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to share some things that are happening in the library. This last month was a month of anniversaries. We celebrated 10 years as being a library that supports the Career Online High School program. That is a program through the California State Library which allows adults and those who haven't finished high school to return and get their high school equivalency diploma. And so we had a graduation this last week where we had 14 of this year's 38 graduates receive their diplomas and talk about their future. One of the attendees was someone who had completed the program and then returned to get her bachelor's degree. So we're seeing the success of this program allowing the participants to reach their next goal in life, whether that be to have a better education or better employment opportunities. Many of them already had goals set to get better and better paying jobs for them and their families. So it was really great to see the enthusiasm that was there. We also celebrated the 30th anniversary of the South Natomas Library. That event was very well attended, and the community was there to celebrate the great work that is happening in that library and across the system. And we also hosted a reentry resource fair, which was for a number of community groups that provide services to our returning citizens, provided them with information about how to become involved in society again, and provide them information on getting access to the resources and services that they need. And we also are happy to be celebrating Banned Books Week this week, and it will culminate with author program as part of our Interest the Chat on Sunday. And if you'd like to come to that, we have spaces available. But Marco Shira is going to be speaking. They are a popular author, and they're coming to do some programs with children this Saturday. There'll be 2 writing workshops that they have scheduled ahead of their speaking on Sunday. And so that's the extent of the report that I have. I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any. I know we'll have a lot of time for the budget, so I want to reserve a bulk of the meeting for that. But I'm happy to answer any questions about the library, the report that I've offered today, if there are any.
Wonderful. Director Maple?
Thank you, Chair. I really appreciate the update, some exciting things. I'm excited for Banned Books Week. I was sharing this with someone else recently. I almost forgot about it. But back when Amazon used to truly be a used bookstore online years ago, I remember I was probably early in college, and I came across a list of banned books. And I went on, or I think it was half.com, so similar style, and I went and I ended up purchasing all those books for cheap on there, and I read them throughout the summer, and it was one of the best things I did. It included some books by like Judy Blume, for example, and others that I couldn't believe were actually banned. And so highly recommend that if you're listening at home. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Love it. All right. Thank you, Director Coyle.
Thank you.
Moving up, no information items. So item 6, consent. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Wonderful. It's been moved and seconded. Do you need a roll call?
Sean Tao.
Aye.
Karina Talamontes.
Aye.
Katie Valenzuela. Yes. Katie Maple.
Aye.
Mai Vang.
Yes.
Bill Cerna.
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy. Rich Desmond.
Aye.
Sue Frost. Pat Hume. Mary Jane Lopez Taff.
Aye.
Rod Brewer.
Aye.
Kevin Spees.
Aye.
Sean Farmer. Garrett Gatewood.
Aye.
Tanya Kravchuk. As unanimous with 12 members present.
Thank you, Clerk. And now item 7, we have the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget. We have Johnny coming up. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Talamontes and members of the board. On the agenda today is the fiscal year 23 24-25 final budget, position control, and fee structures. I'm happy to report to the board that there are not too many changes. Revenues we are projecting to be at $63.6 million combined, an increase of $300,000 from the May adopted budget. So this $300,000 is an ALPA pass-through fund from the County of Sacramento. So $300,000 for the Delta branches, so Cortland, Alton, and Walnut Grove, for furniture, fixtures, and equipment. On the expenditure side, we're looking at $67.9 million in projected total expenditures, an increase of $590,000 from the May budget. And this increase is mainly from three factors. So the $300,000 that we received for the ALPA money that is going to be put into the budget for fiscal year 24-25, again for the Delta branches. Another $250,000 for HR consultant services. As you recall, back in August, so last month, the board approved a HR consulting services to cover the vacant HR manager position within the authority. So that's $200,000 and another $40,000 for the Elk Grove improvements. So not the Elk Grove, but the library galleria, the Sarcopoulos Library Galleria improvements. So $40,000 in improvements. So we're looking at a use of fund balance of $4.3 million. And of that amount, $3.1 million for one-time expenditures. And this includes the brand signage replacements, $300,000 in the Eden software upgrade. We are going through the upgrade process, and we're actually going to go live next week. So October 1 is our go-live date for our new financial system. And then another $430,000 for the AMHS expansion project at the Central Library, and $1.1 million in security refresh and camera upgrades at the Galleria. So these were initially adopted and approved back in May already. And then also another $1.2 million in the Elk Grove supplemental fund reserve usage. So again, these supplemental funds are savings over the last decade, and the City of Elk Grove have elected to use their portion for the new Elk Grove Library expansion. Exhibit A1, so this is a 3-year flow of our fund balances. So we have fiscal year 23, which was completed back in June 30, 2023. Fiscal year 23-24, we are working on final closing entries, and the final audit is also slated for next week as well also. So we have two major projects going on next week, and it's going to be super busy for the finance team. And then the next couple columns, fiscal year 24-25. Again, the only changes are the $300,000 in ALPA revenues and the $590,000 in expenditures. And then the second to last column, the cash flow and economic uncertainty reserve. So we're looking at $17.6 million in economic uncertainty reserves for our operating funds, which are the county, City of Sacramento, Parcel Tax X, and Measure B for the City of Sacramento as well too. And then the last column, these are the unreserved fund balances. So we're looking at about $43.3 million in unreserved fund balances. So although these are unreserved, it's still restricted for library purposes and usage, depending on donations and so forth. Exhibit A2, these are a summary about the budget. So total funding sources, $63.6 million. Expenditures at $67.9 million, a usage of $4.3 for one-time expenditure usage. And Exhibit A3, this is our revenue sources. Again, the $300,000 in ALPA funding is the only change that we have for revenues. The other three major revenue sources, the county at almost $36 million. City of Sacramento, no changes there at $14.3 million. Parcel Tax X 7.2 and Measure B at 2.7 million respectively. So again, the only changes are that 300,000 for the ARPA funds. And then Exhibit A4, these are our overall expenditures. Again, just the total increase is 590,000 in expenditures. Exhibit A5, books and materials. No changes recommended here, so we're keeping the budget at 8.4 million for books and material. Position control, just a minor modification to 4 titles. So we are reclassifying 4 librarians into 4 collection services selection specialists in the CSD department. And this is also based on our recent negotiation for the reclassification. So the total FTEs remain at 342.5 FTEs. And this is Exhibit B, just a quick summary of the total positions for 342.5 FTEs combined. And again, just the 4 position reclasses. And then lastly, Exhibit C, the library continues to collect fees only, so fees and minor fees that we collect for print management and so on. And then the Sarcopoulos Library, there's been numerous improvements over the past several years based on staff's analysis. There's been no rate increases over the past 6 years. So at this point, staff is recommending to do some rate adjustments as highlighted in the board report. And this is mainly to ensure that we continue to provide quality services and provide an outstanding venue for proms, weddings, major events within the city. So that was it. Any questions? Lots of numbers.
Yeah, we have a question from Director Cerna.
There we go. So thank you for the presentation. Does that current accounting, does any of it account for what has occurred at Colonial Heights Library in terms of the fire damage?
So the Colonial Heights, it's not updated yet. Jared and his team are still working with the city and the insurances to come up with the totals, and we'll bring that back within the mid-year budget update.
So at some point there'll be a deductible that's accounted for within a revised, like a mid-year budget?
It'll come back at the mid-year budget, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Great question. Any other callers? Anybody on Zoom? I can't see Zoom. Nope. Okay, I'm looking for a motion in a second.
So moved. Second.
Wonderful. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sean Tao.
Aye.
Karina Talamontes.
Aye.
Katie Valenzuela. Yes. Katie Maple.
Aye.
Mai Vang. Yes. Phil Cerna.
Aye.
Patrick Kennedy. Rich Desmond.
Aye.
Sue Frost. Pat Hume. Mary Jane Lopez Taff.
Aye.
Rod Brewer.
Aye.
Kevin Spees.
Aye.
Sean Farmer. Garrett Gatewood.
Aye.
Tanya Kravchuk. And it's unanimous with 11 members voting.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Moving along to reports, ideas, and questions from board members. Director Tao.
Just want to remind everyone that this weekend is the Taste of North Sacramento Library fundraiser. It will feature live jazz, kids table, silent auction, 5:30 to 8 p.m., and it's hosted by the Friends of the North Sac Hagenwood Library. Everyone is invited to attend. I will also be there. Tickets can be purchased online or at the door. It will be at Angel Center for the Arts, 1023 Del Paso Boulevard. So let's support our library, and yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Peter, thank you so much for the shirt. Libraries are for everyone. This is wonderful. Thank you. Okay, I don't see any more speakers, so with that, we're adjourned at 3:25.